Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it should be going live. There we go. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Winnie, Wintar, Ian, and we're back with another live stream. This time we are reviewing 4 new classic cards, and that's right, classic, which means it's not new cards that can just from a new expansion that are coming out and being sent back into the fray, but instead it is classic cards that will hopefully be in standard format basically forever, and they'll never rotate out. So we have 4 new classic cards that I'm going to be showing you guys, and they are right here. 4 new cards have been added to the classic set. You can now craft them or find them inside classic packs. First one is a 2-mana spell called Icicle. It's epic. Now actually all of these are spells, but deal 2 damage to a minion. If it's frozen, draw a card. And then there's the 1-mana Tomb of Intellect, or Tome of Intellect. That is add a random mage spell to your hand. A 1-mana Cult of the Void. Add a random demon to your hand. And Pilfer. Add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. Now let's go through all of these and see if any of them are meta changing, really good, okay, or downright terrible. First of all, we have Icicle. It's a 2-mana, deal 2 damage. Normally I would say 2 mana should deal more than 2 damage. I don't think dealing 2 damage is enough for 2 mana, but especially not for an epic card when you have 1-mana spells that deal 1 damage. Of course, there is a 2-mana spell that does 3 damage and freezes a minion, and that is Frostbolt, and it's a basic card, which means you can always have it. Icicle here is a 2-mana epic card that deals 2 damage. Not very good. So the only way we can make it better is if it had an effect that really helped it. I don't think it really does. If it's frozen, draw a card. So first of all, deal 2 damage to a minion. Okay, that's not terrible for 2 mana. There's a lot better spells that you can run that deal 3 damage to anything, like Frostbolt, and freezes it. But if the minion you're hitting for 2 damage is frozen, you draw a card. Here's why I don't think this card is any good. When you're dealing 2 damage to a minion, you are likely trying to kill it to survive. Why would you, if it's already frozen, why would you do that? Apparently I'm getting Discord messages. Sorry about that, guys. Here, let me go on Do Not Disturb on Discord. I'm not going to actually open up Discord, though. Alright, I'm on Do Not Disturb now. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, if it's already frozen, dealing 2 damage to it likely won't do shit, because it's already frozen, which means it's not already attacking you, and drawing a card if you are dealing 2 damage to a minion, you might as well be running a Loot Hoarder, in which case you hit something for 2 damage. Yes, this is a spell, so it's different from a Loot Hoarder, because a Loot Hoarder can be killed by anything. This you can aim anything by, as long as it doesn't have spells can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. But overall, I think Icicle is a garbage card. Deal 2 damage to a minion, and if it's frozen, draw a card. It's just not good enough. It might be used in Frostlich Jaina decks, where you have a lot of water elementals and maybe you can get some last minute card draw, but honestly, I can't see Icicle being used effectively. If I end up being wrong, so be it, but I think as long as Frostbolt exists, which it always will, this isn't useful. Moving on. The other mage spell, Tome of Intellect. Add a random mage spell to your hand. It's 1 mana. that's actually not too bad. We've seen stuff like this before with shifting scroll, where it's like you add a 1 mana spell to your hand, and or where it chooses a random spell, and on one turn you play the random spell. Of course, this works a little differently. It's not every turn it switches, but you can just add a random spell. We've also seen this before with the 2 mana card where whenever you play an elemental you gain 3, or whenever you play an elemental it upgrades it and gives you 2 to 3 spells, random spells. That has been used. So I think this one actually has more playability than Icicle. I think it actually could be used to destroy a minion, add a random made spell to your hand. It could be used to destroy a minion. It could be used to hit face. It could add you a Pyroblast or a Fireball or a Frostbolt or a Flame Strike. Basically, there's not many useless spells in Mage. I mean, you could get Icicle, which isn't very good, or you could get like an Arcane Missiles when you really need a Fireball, but it's still pretty decent, and I think if you're running Elemental Mage, maybe it could be useful. I don't know. I think this has some playability. Maybe it's not a meta-defining card. It's definitely not the best card I've seen in card reviews, but I think it could be useful. Moving on, we have a very similar card, but this one for Warlock, a 1 mana, Call to the Void, common card, add a random demon to your hand. I think this could be used in Zoolock, where you where you could get Doom Guards or other stuff. Doom Guards, Doubling Imp, Void Lords. Imagine getting a Void Lord for 1 mana. I mean, not that bad. And in Zoolock, that could be like game changing, especially against another aggressive deck or a control deck, where it's like, oh hey, now I got a Void Lord, and you can't hit me for lethal. Sorry about that, and now I can hit you for lethal next turn, or you can't kill off my big minions. This could be useful for that kind of thing. And a lot of Zoolocks don't mind discards. They run stuff like Doom Guards or Soulfires. Soulfire is in almost every deck. So if you got something like Kari Fellhound, which would discard 2 cards but give you a 3/8 taunt, Zoolock probably wouldn't mind that. A 4 mana 3/8 taunt that only discards 2 cards as a downside might not be bad in Zoolock. Worst things you could discard is like Keleseth. There's a lot of stuff in Zoolock that can be easily discarded and you might not mind it. So Call to the Void is actually pretty good, I'd say. Probably better than Tome of Intellect. I think Call to the Void would probably be pretty good in Zoolock. I don't know about Control Warlock or other types of Warlock. Maybe Hand Warlock too. You never know. But I think, honestly, it could be pretty good. So, it might be useful for you. Who knows? Anyways, the last card is Pilfer, as you know. 1 mana, common card. Add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. Hi, kitty Samwise. You waking up now? Am I being too loud? My kitten Samwise is sleeping in like a self-made corner of like my blanket on the floor, half on the floor. Sort of pulled it down a little bit to make a little cove for him to sleep. It's very cute. Anyways, so for Pilfer, add a random card to your hand from your opponent's class. Okay, so this could be actually pretty good for Thief Rogue. I mean, Thief Rogue has never really been a huge meta-defining deck, but this actually could help. I mean, hang on, guys. Did you call me? What's up? No, I don't. Okay, I'll be down there in a few. Well guys, my civic duty is calling. I gotta go voting, so we're gonna finish this up pretty quick here. Pilfer, I think it'd be useful for Thief Rogue. Again, not meta defining. Might be useful in some sort of Thief Rogue. I think anything really could be used for this. Any type of rogue might want to run this, I don't know. Plenty of people ran Hallucination. It's not a bad card. It could set up for combos. It's pretty good. Overall, I think Pilfer is decent. If I had to give these star ratings, I'd give this 1 star, 2 stars, 2 stars, 2 stars. Nothing major, meta-defining. Nothing epic. More Hearthstone videos coming in the future, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch y'all next time. Anyways, peace, guys. Thanks for watching.